going to give you a little tour of what we got to work with here. Going around. All the way down there. A few hanging off here. And a little bit there. And then coming round to the back of the house. Okay, a lot of these videos are not going to be heavily edited. They're going to be on the fly. I've done a video before this which I might stitch at the start or in between, showing the grapevine that we've inherited at this house we've got. I'm in kind of what we call the second kitchen, only because for me as a brewing space, it's like a mini second kitchen. It's kind of like, there's a lot of stuff going around in there, but there's like cupboards that I can fill with some brewing stuff. There's obviously like our utility crap in here and washing and that, but it's got its own sink, which is a massive advantage for, like, you know, sterilising, cleaning, and as everyone knows and that. And the cooker, the main cooker in the house, there isn't a cooker in here, has one of those like super burner rings and that, which would be great for brewing a bag, which might be explored. But what I bought today, or bought in the week, for those grapes, is a Vigo wine press. I've never kind of come across one of these before. I wasn't really into pressing grapes, but I feel like I owe it to the grapes we've got here to do them justice, try and brew a wine up. Probably just going to go with a generic wine yeast. I don't know how much juice I'm going to get out of the pulp of the grapes we've got, because I've only ever done it from wine kits or like, you know, concentrated grape juice from Tesco and things like that. So I'll just pan the camera around. It is a Vigo 4.5 litre press. They go for around like 120 or 100 pounds or something like that. I weren't sure if it was used at all, but I think going by the fact that it's a used bag, where someone must have done a red wine or something, but there's all the spare muslin bags. There's like dome nuts on the bottom of this. This I'm going to screw to an old chopping board, and then clamp that to the counter up here. Probably put a small vessel in the sink, and then have the runoff going in there once the sink's been sterilised. And then it's just simply a case of like this steel mesh, this kind of big heavy brass bar, and a plate in there. Your pulp goes inside, and then you, without hitting stuff, you turn that screw down, and that's your press kind of thing. But I thought, for what I think it cost me 50 quid in the end, which I don't think is too bad considering some of the like wooden style presses were about 30-40 quid, which I think was quite cheap, I thought. But the problem I've found with a lot of them, they don't come with enough plates to get the pulp down as much as you need, and I think they're predominantly for apples, where you'd have a bigger pulp, whereas grape you're going to go quite thin. I'm going to pick the grapes tomorrow, now that we've got the press. Freeze them first of all, because I heard that breaks down, I guess, the cell wall or whatever, and that quicker. You get more juice extraction. I may even refreeze the juice before I make the wine. I've been digging out old wine kit. You might see another little video somewhere of a beer review. I found some old bungs. I found my giant spoon. I found many hydrometers and trial jars. Stuff that I'm glad I don't have to really rebuy. I'm hoping I got some wine bottles at my mum's. I know I got my demijohn still. It was really mainly the big brewing stuff that I got rid of. So I might go back to brewing a bag. I've definitely got some fermenters. I was heading for small scale brewing again, because I bought this kind of 10 litre fermenter, and I was going to do some wheat beers and that. So yeah, watch this space. There's definitely a wine experiment or mistake coming up, but you know, we can't just leave them grapes hanging there. The squirrels and the fucking blackbirds are at it left, right and centre, so we got to do something with it. And I've just got a Peretti or one of them, I don't know. I didn't do a review of it because it's Carlsberg pish. It's just not anything special, but happy Friday, I guess.